What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we are going to have a quick look at two recently released Seiko watches. These are the Blue Penguin Monster and Tuna Special Edition models, and they are part of the Save the Ocean collection, which as you know is one of Seiko's most popular and best-selling lineups. So let's have a closer look at these two and see how good they are. Both watches have been loaned to me by relojeriaesparza.com here in Valencia, Spain, so huge thanks to them. They are an authorized dealer for Seiko, Citizen and Casio G-Shock, and because they are such good friends of mine, they have promised to give the best price possible to any of my viewers. You simply need to contact them and tell them I send you, so definitely check them out guys. I'll leave their info in the description of this video. Alright, let's start with the SRPG57K1 model. You know guys, I believe this is the first time I handle a Seiko Monster, and I'm surprised by how compact it is. The case diameter is only 42.4mm, the lug-to-lug is just a little over 49mm, while the thickness comes at 13.4. Finally, the spacing between the lugs is 20mm, so it's an extremely wearable piece that will look great on a variety of wrist sizes. For reference, here is the watch on my 17cm or 6.7 inch wrist. And guys, I'll just say that my love for Seiko has resurrected. This thing just looks stunning on the wrist, and since it's a loaner I don't have it sized, but I can tell you that it's a comfortable watch and definitely something that I could wear daily. When it comes to the design, the shape of the case, the bezel and everything else, this model is the same as our other current generation Monsters, which is great. And as I said, this is my first experience with the Seiko Monster, but guys, my first impressions are extremely positive. So much that I want one. I really do, because it's such a unique piece. Plus it's really well made, the build quality of the case is very good and it's very nicely finished too. The same goes for the bracelet, which combines vertical brushing with high polished center links. By the way guys, all links are solid and they are put together by pins and colors. The only part of the bracelet that I would like to see improved, which I'm sure it won't come as a surprise to anyone, is the clasp. It's the same old pressed metal clasp that you can find on pretty much any Seiko mid-range model. Don't get me wrong, it gets the job done, but it doesn't match the rest of the watch in terms of quality. Next, let's talk about the dial, because it is the reason why you should be interested in this exact Monster reference. I've said it before and I'll say it again guys, we can say whatever we want about Seiko, we can complain about the clasp, about their pricing, but we can't deny the fact that they know how to make a gorgeous looking dial. And this is exactly what we're looking at right now. It is absolutely stunning, just look at how well everything has been executed. The texture makes you think of snow and ice, I mean winter in general, and then the picture in your head gets complete when you spot the 6 footprints of these cute, funny and clumsy animals that we call penguins. The more I look at this dial, the more I want to call Javi at Relojeria Esparza and tell him, hey, put it aside, this one is mine. Honestly guys, I think whoever designed this dial at Seiko should have his salary doubled, because it's a fantastic looking dial. And then you see that the bezel, the chapter ring and the magnification window are aligned and you're like, oh my gosh, perfect Seiko ever. So yeah guys, I now perfectly understand why people love Seiko Monster watches so much, and this one with this dial is a win in my opinion. Alright, now that I've calmed down, let me show you the case back real quick and then we can continue with the Tuna model. It's a screw-down case back and it carries the Kanagawa Wave logo. Here you can also see some of the specs, such as the movement, which is the 4R36. Then it says that this is a special edition model, which is great. It means that finding it in stock shouldn't be very difficult. And finally guys, this watch is an ISO certified 200 meters diver. Now let's have a look at the Tuna model, which also looks incredibly nice. One thing about these Tunas guys is that they wear surprisingly smaller than what their dimensions would suggest. The case diameter of this one is 43mm, but the watch actually looks and wears smaller than the Monster model. The reason for that is the rounder case design and the smaller dial diameter, as well as the shorter lug-to-lug, which measures only 44mm. When it comes to the thickness, this Tuna is 12.6mm high, while the spacing between the lugs is 20mm, just like the Monster. As you can see, these dimensions translate into a perfect fit for my 17cm or 6.7 inch wrist, but I'm sure that the watch will also look great even on smaller wrists than mine. Then the silicone rubber strap is also very comfortable, and it is long enough to use with a dive suit. As far as the design and the build quality go, the round case design with the protective shroud make these Tuna quite unique when compared to other dive watches. The build quality is solid, and this model shares the same characteristics as the Monster: 316L steel, ISO certified water resistance of 200 meters, and a 4-hour movement. Then the rubber band, as I already mentioned, is fantastic, and the white color really adds to the snowy icy theme of the dial. Guys, the finishing is also great, most surfaces are brushed, but you do get some polished accents like the screws on the shroud or the sides of the lugs, as well as the back of the watch. Alright, next let's have a closer look at the dial, even though it's about the same as the one of the Monster and it's just as gorgeous. The colors, the texture and the penguin feet are all the same. The only difference is the handset and the hour markers. From this close-up footage you can also see that the bezel insert is textured and made out of aluminum. It also looks to me that it's properly aligned, which leaves me without much to complain about. In fact, my only gripe with these two watches is the lack of a sapphire crystal. Instead you get Seiko's Hardlex, which is essentially a mineral crystal. Is it something that would stop me from buying a watch? Absolutely not, guys, but it's definitely something I would expect to see on a watch in this price range. Speaking of the price, guys, these two models have a retail price of €550 for the Monster and 570 for the Tuna here in Spain. But remember what I told you at the beginning of this video. If you are in Europe, you can contact my friends at Relojeria Esparza and they will give you the best deal they possibly can, no questions asked. In fact, that goes not only for these two, but for any watch that they currently have in stock. And don't worry, this is not a paid review and I'm not sponsored by them. I've just been a returning client for so long that we've become very good friends, and I often borrow watches from them to review here on the channel. So yeah, I'll leave their contact info in the description below in case anyone is interested. And before this video comes to an end, guys, let me give you my final words. I think that these Antarctica Save the Ocean models by Seiko are a major go. I've really fallen in love with the dial, it really is stunning in person. My favorite out of the two is definitely the Monster. It just looks more aggressive, it wears a bit bigger, and it comes on a bracelet, which is a big deciding factor for me. I'm slimming down my collection right now, and when I'm done, it's very likely that I go and buy this Monster. That is if it's still available. But how about you guys? What do you think of these two models and which one do you like best? Drop me a comment in the comment section below. Thank you very much for staying until the end. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, as that would really help the channel grow. Take care, guys. I'll see you in the next one.